How's it, everyone? Welcome and thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how to do the fine line spaghetti or vermicelli paint method for the Wellenmuster Luftwaffe type of camouflage with the Montana paint pen. Let's get the show on the road. First of all the boring and basic stuff. I know. But Rome wasn't built in one day, so let's look at opening the pen, cleaning it and adding paint to it. The best tool I have found to remove the valve, believe it or not, is a cuticle tool. To clean the pen I use water and sometimes alcohol. Add some once the valve is removed and then pump the pen to load the tip so you'll be able to see how good the flow is. Once you have decent flow, remove the valve again and decant the water. The pen is ready for some paint now. The only issue with the Montana paint pen is that the screw thread is non-standard for some unknown reason. So lefty-loosey and righty-tighty does not apply. Lefty-tighty and righty-loosey is the Montana way. The empty Molotov version of this pen does not have this problem. However, I've not used the Molotov pen yet for this type of camouflage, but I have a review of the pen at the end of the video, so check that out. Now we're getting to the most exciting part, adding paint. Load the pen body with your paint of choice. You need only a small amount of paint. Here I loaded way too much. 1/4 inch or 6 millimeters is enough, and you can always add some more later. I usually thin the paint to a 50-50% ratio. However, in this case the mission model's sand galb did not require any thinning. Yeah, not 100% sure what I'm trying to show here. Shaking the pen only really mixes the paint. It doesn't aid the flow. So yeah, there's your useless video clip for the day. Out comes the old Skyline paint mule to test the flow and practice on a bit. It is really important to check the flow and practice as much as you can. You do not want to use your pen on your model immediately. Make sure the flow is correct and rather spend more time preparing than having to strip your model later on. Swapping tips are also dead easy. They just pull out and slide back in without any issues. Just make sure they seat correctly into the filter. The 1mm tip is made from a felt-like material, and it takes much longer to load this tip and for complete saturation to occur. Note the difference here on the Skyline. The 1mm tip also does not run as smoothly as the 0.7mm tip on satin surfaces to matte surfaces. I have tried it over a gloss coat in the meantime, and it works much better then. One final check of the Hasegawa instructions just to make sure I'm not being a dumbass and painting the correct scheme. And get ready, this is the exciting part. I know what you're thinking right now. Holy bejesus, you have never thought this kind of camouflage can be done this easily, did you? I have total control and total accuracy over the paint, unlike the masks or an airbrush. And no, unfortunately I don't have shares in Montana paint pens or Molotov. And from here on, you can just pretend to be the Luftwaffe ground crew member spraying on the vermicelli camouflage and having fun. If there ever was time to have fun during a war, not. So, as with most stuff, here is the serious and important stuff to talk about, aka some do's and don'ts. Do not pump the pen on the surface of the model to load the tip like you'll see me doing a couple of times. This will create a spot on the surface and you will have to come back and correct that. Also, do not run the pen more than 90 degrees to the surface, as you'll see me doing a couple of times. It will create a finer line. Try to keep the pen between 45 and 90 degrees to get the best results. Now I'm going to shut up and let you just enjoy and take a look at the method and the way that I'm doing this on this HS129. Enjoy. So ultimately you are trying to accomplish the sprayed on look for these lines. So after the first layer has dried completely, I start the second pass. The paint beneath this layer is thinner and wider. The tip has been changed to the 0.7mm version. And just a note here, I have by no means perfected this method yet. But for scale effect in 1/48 scale, I think this is the best starting point to work from. Once again, do not press down on the kit while you are making lines. So what I'm accomplishing here is to have a tiny soft edge with a darker middle line, just like real sprayed paint will appear. You can do touch-ups and corrections on the run, and it shouldn't be a problem if you're using high quality paint. It levels down really well with the previous layer. And behold, here is the final result. I have applied some filters and panel liner, and of course the decals and clear coats. Some pigments were added for dirt and for the exhaust stains. So you wonderful people, we have come to the end of part 1 of the 3-part series. I know. You guys are just as happy to hear me shut up as the Germans were after a Das Führer speech. In all honesty, I was really amped and looking forward to sharing this technique with the model building community. I really hope this video was helpful to you in some way and that you learned something new. If you liked it, I would really appreciate you subscribing to my channel and liking and sharing the videos. Also click the little bell if you want to be notified of new videos from me. I've also linked the pens and most of the products I used, including some of the photography gear, in the description. I am an Amazon affiliate, so please use my links to order something from there at no extra cost to you. Happy modeling, and stay tuned for more information after the credits. Well, you decided to get tortured even more. I don't blame you. This is a great discovery. Right up there with sliced bread and penicillin. Firstly, I got the Molotow paint pen set since making the video, and I thought I would add some comments about it. Secondly, I've not used them yet on a project, so this is just a quick open box review of the set that you can order on Amazon. The set consists of 2 complete pens, 7 tips and 3 refill extensions. According to Molotow, the 7 tips consist of 4 2mm tips, 2 1.5mm tips and 1 1mm tip. To me, to be quite honest, they look the same as the Montana tips, but according to Molotow, they are different sizes. While they are the manufacturer, so I guess we have to believe them. Right off the bat, the differences I can see is that 1, the complete pen is thinner than the Montana version. 2, the thread screw is standard, so righty-tighty, lefty-loosey applies. And 3, there is no equivalent filter. This might be a good or a bad thing, I guess we'll see. I'm not sure what the refill extension is all about, but it screws onto the pen with no issues, and if I have to guess, it literally just extends the pen to allow for more paint to be loaded. Now let's talk about the basic components and impressions of the Molotow pen. First, you have the pen body, the ball bearing, the valve, the screw cap, the tip and the cover cap. The valve comes out much easier than the Montana pen, and you won't need a cuticle tool to remove it, so that's great. But don't be worried about it coming out, because from what I can see, the screw cap secures it into place. The spring load is also much softer. Of course, the screw cap goes on nice and standard, The pumping action is softer than the Montana paint pen, and the Molotow has a great general feel to it. It's a solidly made pen and a good set to get you everything that you need to do this technique.